The Nintendo Direct is tomorrow, and I wanted to do something I haven't done in probably close to like 2-3 years, and that's make a prediction video and also kind of a wish list on what I want to see at the Nintendo Direct. If not tomorrow, then a very near future Nintendo Direct. I actually think that this is an interesting time for the Nintendo Switch because it's kind of on its deathbed, but I've known Nintendo to historically release some of its greatest games at the end of a console's life cycle. So I'm not going to completely count any game out. You know, Breath of the Wild technically came at the end of the Wii U's life cycle. I think that we might really have some good stuff soon. And I want to hear your predictions too. And let's see how we were right or wrong together. I am Solace, this is Solace and Dread. We produce analytical content as well as nuanced discussions on gaming. If you like that kind of content, consider subscribing. All right, let's get this out of the way right now. Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are wish list items, and I know that that is like the number one thing that people want. I would love to have Twilight Princess on the Switch, but I really don't think that we're going to get it until the successor is in the conversation. I really don't. I have a number of reasons as to why I think that, and you know, I hope that I'm wrong. It'd be nice to get it, but no matter what, if we get it, it's going to be an inferior version to how it was on the Wii U, because we don't have the gamepad's interactive menu on the Wii U, and I just don't see Nintendo wanting to do that. And in my wormy brain, I really think that that's just going to be something that waits. Wind Waker, maybe, but Twilight Princess, I think they're going to make us wait. A couple of other things, you know, the bird, y'all know which bird I'm talking about. Y'all know the bird. He's given clues about an Ace Attorney appearance tomorrow, as well as Darkest Dungeon 2. I've never played Ace Attorney myself, but I've watched a lot of Twitch streamers, and those people have made some really fun content out of that. So while I've not played it myself, maybe this next Ace Attorney, if we see an appearance, maybe this would be where I jump in. And Darkest Dungeon 2, I don't really know anything about this series, but if you're fans, happy for y'all. Now, actual predictions. While everyone is hoping for a combo of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, I actually think that we're more likely to get a combo of Star Fox Adventures and Assault in a package deal. Like, that's where my brain is at. Star Fox has had like such a minimal presence on the Switch, only getting like a glorified guest role in Starlink Battle for Atlas, and that was years and years ago, you know, and that game didn't do too well. So if we were to get anything, I could see maybe Assault and Adventures, and it would totally track that we would get a port of those games. I think that Star Fox Zero could come, but again, I think that that's going to be a port that'll be on a Switch successor. You know, I don't think that we're getting that now. I think, and here's why I say this, same thing for Twilight Princess. I think, and I have no proof of this, but I think that the Nintendo Switch will be connectable to the new console as a sort of controller. So you'll be able to use it for a gamepad, and you don't need that. But I think that if you have a Switch, you can connect it to your console, your new Nintendo Switch console, the Switch 2 or Switch Up, right? And I think that that'll be one of the cool perks of having a Nintendo Switch, is using that as a controller for the next console. And that's when I think games like Twilight Princess and Star Fox Zero and a lot of games that utilize the menus, the menu system on your Switch, I think that that's when those games will get ported. But that's just my noodle brain again, and I just don't think we're going to get anything before that happens. We're definitely going to hear something about Pokemon Legends ZA tomorrow. Maybe get like a holiday release date. You know, Pokemon might have taken a beating in the public eye since Power World came out and was such a success, but Pokemon is a moneymaker for the Switch and for Nintendo, and for the Pokemon company itself. So I don't see a world where they don't dedicate at least a few minutes talking about Pokemon ZA. They could just skim the surface and then promise us a Pokemon present state, which that's something they tend to do. But at the very least, we're going to get a mention of it. And same thing for Luigi's Mansion 2. They're going to push that on us, seeing it's close to coming out. But Luigi's Mansion 2 just isn't very good. I don't like Dark Moon. I don't like it. You know, I came to the Luigi's Mansion series super late, but you know, 1 was pretty good, 3 was amazing, but 2 is my more bold predictions. Metroid Prime 4 might finally see some light. It's been like, what, 7 years or some shit since it was announced. And they told us that they were starting over on the project like 5 years ago, something like that. So maybe they're finally ready to give us a trailer, as, you know, the Switch is finally on its deathbed. But that would make a lot of people explode with excitement. And I think also in the meantime, we'll get a Prime 2 and 3 bundle pack to hold us over until Metroid Prime 4 comes out, right? Like that would make sense. I think we'll also get a little bit of Square Enix action. Like, I think at the very least, we're going to see Dragon Quest 3, the remake, get a launch date, which is really exciting for the Dragon Quest fans. And, you know, the story of Dragon Quest 3 is super important to the Dragon Quest story overall. So, like, this is a big deal to get Dragon Quest 3 getting that HD, that 2D, getting that HD 2D remake treatment. That was hard. Xenoblade Chronicles X also, maybe that could potentially come. I hated that game, but I know that there's a big fan base that likes to pretend that it's just really good. So, you know, the last prediction before the wish list is, I think we're going to get a Mario game, but not a big 3D Mario game. That would be too crazy. If we were to get a 3D one, it would be a port of Mario Galaxy 2. But I think we're going to get a Mario sports game, specifically Mario Baseball, Sluggers. I'm not mad at that. I suspect it'll be a new one instead of like a remake of the GameCube version. But literally any Mario sports game could be better than that dumpster fire that was Mario Strikers Battle League. It's been about a year and a half since that game came out, and I'm almost healed from the damage that game did to my love for Nintendo and Mario games. You know, I think that that'll be a solid holiday release. As far as a wish list goes, I mean, I would like to see the Final Fantasy IX remake come to life beyond the predictable rumors. It's been a number of years now, at least a couple of years since that Nvidia leak, and everything on it so far has been true or some sort of true. And this is one of the only things that can get a remake that would make me flip out the same way I did with Mario RPG. The other thing that I can think of like that would be Chrono Trigger. Literally getting anything that might make me faint. Now that's something that's way out, right? Like, we ain't getting that. But something else that would be really cool is Diddy Kong Racing coming to the Switch. That would be like one of the hypest things ever, because Diddy Kong Racing was better than most of the Mario games. It's not better than Mario Kart 8, but like, Diddy Kong Racing was hype as hell. That game was so good, and I would love to see that come to the Switch, but I would prefer like a new version as opposed to it coming to the N64 library with like playable with other people. I want to see a brand new version of Diddy Kong Racing, but you know, like a new entry. And speaking of, Mario Kart 9 would go crazy too, but that's a console seller, and that's going to be a launch title on the Switch successor, and we know that. And there ain't no way we're getting that now. Maybe. Right? That's my wish list. That's the wish list portion. I don't think we're going to get any of those last titles that I mentioned, but I would love to see us get some of these titles that I just mentioned. But I think that with the Switch being close to dead, right? At least as we currently know it, I think it's important to temper expectations, and we're not going to get anything crazy. Like, it's not going to be like last year where I'm breaking down crying and, you know, and don't even know what to do with myself, where, you know, 2 of my favorite games get remakes announced at the same, like, it literally can't be that. But I do think that we're going to get something that'll make us moderately happy, you know? We just have to accept that this year in gaming is not going to be a 2023, but it can be close. It can be close. Please let me know what your predictions are. If you have any, what your hopes are, what your wish list is, and we'll see what happens tomorrow after the direct. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon, and long live the Turtle Kingdom.